So we're going to cover three things here, okay? Number one, what happened? Why Meta deleted 10 million accounts? 10 million accounts got deleted from Facebook and Instagram just in 2026. It's probably way higher number than that, but this is officially what they say. So what happened? Why is that happening? Why are people being removed? I'm sure you have seen a lot of marketers and coaches losing their accounts or getting restricted for a week or longer. Getting certain restrictions in terms of posting or commenting or messaging, stuff like that. Even though Meta says they're doing this to remove spammers, bots, etc. Right? Number two, what changed? Because one of the biggest changes is that they are rating your DMs now, every single DM you send, and how this impacts what you do. Because I already had experience with that, where I got a bad one, where I got restricted because of a DM that I sent to my client. So I'll cover that. And then number three, what traps to avoid? Okay, what can we do to keep generating leads, showing up, getting clients, generating income, right? And use our Facebook or Instagram or both accounts, profiles to do so. So number one, what they did is maybe you know this by now, but they replaced all their staff with AI. So they say that 90% of supervision, like moderation, etc., is done by AI. That's what they say. Sounds like it's almost 100%, right? And so there's no option to appeal. There's no option to complain to anybody. There's no nuance. It's 0 or 1. If you break Meta TOS, terms of service, any shape or form, AI flags you. That's it. And there's no human oversight. So there's no one that will go check this and say, hey, he didn't mean that, or this was, like also AI doesn't get relationships. You might have a great relationship with someone and they're just like, I had someone comment on my post the other day asking me to send them my feet pics, right? I had someone comment, you are gay. Or like, what did he say? You look gay, whatever. Like he was joking, a friend of mine, marketer. So, but AI doesn't get, he can get banned for that, or the feed pics, or, because doesn't get that, right? The relationship side. Same like in DMs, which I will cover number two. It doesn't get any nuance like that. Like if you're being sarcastic, right? Has no idea. Like, let's go and make quickly $2 million. Like, let's say you say that's a joke. You can get banned for that. Like, I mean, it's not funny, but so number one, we'll cover that. Number two, what changed in terms of DMs? Actually, they're using now AI and OCR that reads every single message you send. So the OCR is the character recognition tool. So if you send screenshots, images, anything like that in Messenger, it reads that too. So OCR scans those and the AI reads every single text message you send. And this happened in May. They removed encryption. So up until now we had like privacy. It was encrypted messaging supposedly. But now they publicly just admit they read every single one. And so what happened to me, I was talking on Messenger one-to-one with a past client who was about to become a client again, to work with me again, and we were talking about reviewing her sales process. So one of the things is checking her Messenger conversations, what is happening, right? Because some people drop off, some people ghost her, some people buy, so she's not sure what works when and so on. So my suggestion was, okay, export your messages, like download them and share them with me, so then I can go and check and look through. And I need all of them so I can put them in Claude and ask Claude, give me the ones that were like, let's say 5 or 6 exchanges at least, that are, good leads, etc. I cannot see every single one. So that was why I asked for it. She actually was happy to provide that. But 2 minutes later after I said that, I swear, literally 2 minutes afterwards, I got a notification that I got a restriction. 7 days, I cannot send or reply to any messages because I broke like cybersecurity terms of service, whatever, something by Meta. You can't, they told me, and they pointed at that chat. They told me, here you have asked for her private information from Facebook. So you can't ask for anyone's private information or anything like that in chat. So that's one thing. Another thing is that if you share images or screenshots that are huge claims, they're gonna make, I don't know how much money, or Stripe's screenshot, let's say, or something like that. If you share screenshots of other people's conversations, so you share and you say, look what this person said, or maybe you're making a joke about somebody, or maybe you are asking for feedback on certain conversation, right? And you share that image, if they can see their profile, their picture, like they can see the person, or they can see anything private about them, so name, it says here their name or whatever, first name, last name, anything like that, you can get restricted for that. So you shouldn't be sharing anyone's information in messages. And they're reading every single one, literally every single one. So, okay, what can we do about this, right? Because it sounds crazy. Like, I know people who broke the TOS by not having privacy policy on their website. So they send person to a landing page, they share a link, and Meta, because it's AI, crawls the page. Wherever you send them, you share some link or something, wherever you send people, they check that link. They check the domain, number one, where are you sending them, right? Blah, blah.com, whatever. That's number one. Number two, they crawl the page. They get all the information on the page. So I know people who sent a link and there was no privacy policy on the page, in the footer, right? It has to be there, it has to be clickable, Meta checks all that, the AI. I know someone, and this person lost 200K, more than 200,000 followers on Instagram, account that she had for years. One person, marketer, lost Facebook account he had from 2014 because something similar, he didn't have terms of service. Like, imagine that. So he had privacy policy but didn't have terms of service. I know a network marketer who lost their account because the promise on the page was leading them to a network marketing company, and the promise was too big, the claim about financial gains they can get or whatever. So if the link is taking them somewhere, and that's first trap. If you're going to share any links on Facebook, like any, doesn't matter what type of a link, number one, let's say links. It has to be ideally safe. Number one, safe domain, right? So what's considered safe? YouTube is safe. Google is safe, right? And so on. If you're sending them to Canva is safe, let's say, right? If you're sending them to a Thrivecart checkout page, ClickFunnels, Stan Store, any of those are not considered safe. So that's a flag one for Meta. And then number two is what's the copy on the page, which I will cover, because there's not only claims and promises, but also what do you say in the copy and how you address the person you're talking to. So if you share your links on your profile and you are non-verified profile, if you're non-verified, they allow, if you share 2+ links, like in a month, they will suppress your reach. They'll totally kill it. Like, you won't get no one will see your posts. If you are verified, you can share links. But again, I wouldn't recommend sharing it in posts. Obviously, the better thing is to share in comments or in DMs, right? And when you do share, to send them to a safe domain, if possible. If your domain, let's say mine, stevan.com, if it's been up for I don't know how many years, there's many links to it from other social, where I was posting, people go, engage, read, whatever, then might be considered safe. But if you have a relatively new page, landing page, you just created one, which is what most of us do, right? You have a new offer or lead magnet or whatever, you create one ad hoc quickly, you didn't add things in the footer, or even if you did, but it's a new page, it's not considered safe, right? So But if you're sending them to these, you're fine. And obviously any big company, established domain, and so on. So what you can do is you can use a page that's like a bridge page, like a buffer. So they don't go from Meta directly to some promise or somewhere where they can give you their data, like punching the email, or where you already hosted like a VSL. They can go somewhere, click a button, and then go to the actual page where you want them, right? And that way Meta will stop here, because Meta is only interested for the first one, like where did they go? And the reason is simple, actually, because they don't want to be responsible. If you go to a page and you get scammed there, they don't want to be responsible, for that. You can go back and sue them and complain, like that, they sent you. You believed it because you saw it on Facebook, right? Or Instagram, or whatever. So they want to stay safe, right? But if you send them to YouTube or Google, they feel like, it's their problem now, right? They're on YouTube now. So whatever happens, it's up to YouTube or Google. So meaning if you're sharing Google Docs, and you can put any link basically in a Google Doc, right? But you send them to a Google Doc, you're okay. That's fine. So you can send them to any Google Docs. This is all fine, okay? So that is one option. Obviously, you want to share in comments. Ideally, if you share link, you share it in comments. Now, next thing is you don't want to use any kind of bots, any kind of automations. Like they were always against this, but if you use it today, you're really risking totally losing your account. And many people lose it. They use these tools. They paid a lot for the tools they use, or bots or whatever, AI that responds to their messages, replies or whatever. But the thing is, you'll get banned, right? The person who sold you the AI bot or automation can say, oh, it wasn't for that, you did something else, or who knows what was it, right? Because they're not always super clear about what happened. Like with me in that messenger conversation, I could see what happened. They told me in this messenger conversation, you said blah, 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 right? But with this, it's tricky, right? And you're risking of just losing your account forever. And what happens if you create a new one, it's not ideal either, because they actually have your face. They have your name and first name, last name. Even if you change your first and last name, obviously then you cannot verify your account anymore, but they know it's you based on the image. I know people who did that, and their second then account got immediately shut down. They made a third one, that one got deleted, right? It's like you're already flagged back in the system. AI has you, as like wanted, on like the Western movies, right? So the moment they see you, done. Now, one thing in terms of copywriting, so this can be content, but also if you send them to a page where you're doing this, like any personal attributes, if you're making any assumptions about their, personal situation, financial, health, so like you can say, are you like, if you're tapping into pains, problems, are you struggling? And you can be saying, are you struggling with, health, right? With weight? Are you struggling financially? Are you struggling to pay your bills or to earn money or whatever, right? Anything like that, you can get banned. Like they do not allow that anymore. So ideally, what you want to do is be more focused on the benefits. At least the pages that they can see, right? If you're sending someone to the page, they can crawl, like you're sharing the link, taking to that page. You want to talk more about benefits on that, at least that first page. If you use a buffer page, like I show you here, like you want them to go to one page just so you're safe with Meta, or they go to a YouTube video like this and then there's a link below, then you're fine with that. And then you want to focus really, if you're going to share any screenshots, images, like conversations, like proof, case studies, anything that you're sharing with other people, right? Testimonials, etc. because I would do this before, and many people would in Messenger, right? Freely. Like, show and look what this person said. They're in your situation. They're also a personal trainer, and we help them do XYZ, right? And so now I'm avoiding all those things, right? And in many cases, if I'm sending something, I actually ask people for an email if I don't have it already. So if you ask for an email to send them, that's fine. They can give you. And when they give you an email, you can send them whatever you want. With email, you're fine. Plus, you're building a list. So much safer. So yeah. So I think I have covered most of the stuff I wanted to show you here. So I would focus more on benefits, share links in the comments, avoid any bots and automations, have some kind of bridge or buffer page so you're safe, or use email to deliver stuff. Avoid sharing other people's info. And, you should be fine because they'll check for everything. They'll check for claims, like is it misleading, right? Again, personal attributes, like assuming anything about them, right? Are you struggling with death? Do you have, severe anxiety, right? Are you overweight? Are you struggling with that? Whatever, right? Also, any kind of fake scarcity. Like if you have countdown clocks, or you're claiming like limited spots, stuff like that, the link that you share on Facebook or Instagram, you can get flagged for that. Like only 3 spots left, stuff like that. Unless you have proper explanation why, images, and so on. If you just make a claim, just put only 3 left, or like you have next 59 minutes to sign up or whatever, 15 minutes, that can, And then if you do send them to any landing pages and it's your website, make sure it's been there for a while, right? So it's safer to have a legal footer, right? With terms of service, privacy policy, all those things. I think it's easier to just avoid that, right? And do things I mentioned above. Hope it makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. I think I covered everything, but if you have any questions, let me know. Have a good one. Stay safe.